matter what. You don't control your Bitcoin unless you control your private key. If you're storing your Bitcoin or your Ethereum or your Litecoin or whatever at some third party, that defeats the whole purpose of cryptocurrency. I mean, you should have gotten into cryptocurrency, I think, because you didn't want to deal with the middlemen and stuff. So you have a bank. You didn't want to deal with a bank holding all of your money. So now you hold your value in Bitcoin on your computer, on your Trezor, which is a Bitcoin storage device. There are hacks all the time. We had the Bitfinex hack back in 2016. It just didn't happen with Mt. Gox back in 2013, and there are going to be more. And Poloniex is an exchange that's not that much different than Cryptsy, that totally disappeared last year. So these third parties are not trusted places to put your Bitcoin, to put your Ethereum, to put your whatever. And just try to learn how to control your private key, buy a Trezor, and if you do control your private key, you own your Bitcoin, you don't have to worry about anything about a chain split or all the things they're talking about now, because you control it. If some of you, and I don't want to get too complex for anyone, might remember that Ethereum had a chain split, where the Ethereum people decided they were going to bail out some people and do it. The fork was chain, not the chain was fork, excuse me. And we ended up with two Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. Well, if you had your Ethereum at an exchange like BTC-E, which is a very popular exchange out of Bulgaria, they said they lost everybody's Ethereum Classic. It was stolen, whatever. I mean, they could do whatever. There are no rules. There are no rules out there if someone else controls your cryptocurrency. If it splits in two, they can steal the other one if they want to, and they're not liable at all. So that's another reason. Or they can just straight up steal. If it doesn't even split, they can just steal your stuff anyway. There's no liability. Again, this is about individual responsibility. That is what cryptocurrency is about for me. I know this. I guess I'm talking a very straightforward, straight talk type, but this is the way I talk. If you like that kind of thing, Google me, look it up on YouTube. But I'm very impressed by the ecosystem here in Australia, and that there's so many people. I did a show on Friday with some players from Sydney, from here, from Melbourne. It's really exciting what you guys have going on here, and I'm really happy to tell the entire world about it. And it's just, anyway, I just jumped all around here. So, question, yeah. This is a great question. Should I wait to buy Bitcoin beforehand, or after, or should I buy it before? Well, for me, Bitcoin's a long-term investment here. I know that all this turbulence is going to go away. So what I tell people is, Bitcoin's $2,000 now. All right. What do you think Bitcoin is going to be worth in the year 2020? Is it cheaper than that now? So you buy it now. Why, if it's gonna quadruple by 2020, which many people are saying, then you buy it now, but then you say, well, it might be a little cheaper next week. Well, it might be a little cheaper next week, but still, if it's going to quadruple by 2020, what's the difference between buying it now? But you see, the thing is, what could happen is people could start hoarding it up to this event that's coming up. There's a lot of different possibilities. It's gone down to like $2,000. I don't even know what it is right now. I'm talking in US dollars. But it could go way up after once all this is solved, it is going to go up. It is good. Like people were talking back in March when people were originally worried about all of this. People were like, the price is going to crash down to $300. It has already crashed down to $900 from $1,300. I'm going to sell now and buy back cheaper. Well, it had never got back to $900 again. There were legitimate, very wise experts saying it's going to go lower. We have to make it go lower so the miners do what we want them to do. But it never went lower again. So, by putting off what you can do now, it might never get this cheap again. But in the end of the day, though, don't just think to yourself, what is it going to be worth in 2020? And if it's cheaper than that now, then just get it now. That's what I tell people. Any other thoughts, questions, excitement? Yeah, hello.
Suppose supposing everything takes off on the 1st of August, I believe they're implementing it next week, 21st.
What?
Friday.
Segwit's first August.
How long is it going to take? Well, it's taking about 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour now.
Oh, to actually do a
We're
transaction?
going to see the flash fast transactions that the public want. The public want immediate Visa card style fast transactions so they can buy their...
There's two questions there. I mean, does the public really want... the public isn't really demanding the fast transactions. Some people are very frustrated with the slow transactions. So the people who are using it now in those ways do want it to be faster. You're absolutely correct. The people who use it, as I say, gold and hold, are buy and holders. They, if they're buying a $50,000 worth of Bitcoin, they'll wait a half hour for it to come. But your question is how fast?
Christmas?
How soon is this going to be? Yeah, when is it going to get fast? That I do not. Things have to be actually implemented. The Lightning Network, Segwit, and I am not a technical expert, but it will be on the path to that happening within a reasonable time frame. It will happen. And you know what? It's been faster lately because there have been people clogging the network on purpose to cut. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that word?
Clogging the network. Or just clogging. I mean, it's sending useless transactions. Blocking.
Clogging. That's good. Clogging.
Sync. Yeah.
In order to...
in order to gain leverage, to slow down, to make his system seem worse than it currently is, to get their way, say, hey man, we need these fast transactions, we got to do it my way, let's do this Segwit 2X agreement that we've just made up. Yeah. So there's...
Silk Road is what most people are scared of Bitcoin, obviously, but Bitcoin as a currency at the moment, what people like you and me are asking, and it's not at the moment because, as you said, it's a whole currency. It's not the kind of thing that you could go buy a can of Coke with.
No, it's not.
What your question is, how long will it take for that? It depends on market uptake.
No, but he also said how fast. Right now there are times there have been high transaction fees and it's been slow. So when will that be corrected? Because segregated witness is the solution to that. Once segregated witness will be implemented soon after it's it'll be functional in that manner soon after. I'm not a technical guy. I do not know the specifics on that. Was someone back there had their hand up? Yes.
I saw your comment that it's that what people want. So I used to run a company where we paid about $5,000 a year in credit card fees as a merchant. Working small, we'd love to be taking Bitcoin instead.
You're correct. I mean, there are people with different opinions, but at the same time, if people really needed these fast transactions that are cheap, they could implement Litecoin. They could just use Litecoin right now. Litecoin would solve all the problems. There are not as many people who want to buy coffee right now as some people make there are. There's this one guy, and I don't name him. He's the king of the trolls. He talks about how people need to do these coffee transactions now. I mean, there's not that. The demand isn't exactly there, but the option should be there for Bitcoin. There should be an option for it to be a functional, real currency. That should exist, and obviously I lean toward using it as a device to store value and as gold, as digital gold. I think it's great. It is great as digital gold. It is the world reserve currency of cryptocurrency. That is Bitcoin. You can hear about the latest thing out there. I mean, it is the most tested one, and it's the king. It's,
Rest is basically derivatives.
someone had their hand.
Lady